So we're going to go ahead and start. As I said, we're doing a little surgery to the schedule here so that you can get more work time. And I think we got a way that you can get actually a significant amount of work time today. So this is what we're going to do. The adjustment in the schedule is that I'm about to reintroduce to you. You don't really need an introduction because Nathan Gold spoke yesterday. You already know him. But he's going to continue on with the topic of pitch-related topics. How to refine your pitch. But he's going to compress that hour and 15 into 15.
10.
10. Okay. So it's truly minimum viable pitch. He's going to show you exactly what he's pitching about, is how to get his point down into a small amount of time. And what that's going to let us do is stay on track, and at 11:30 we'll go on with the entrepreneur's view of funding with our guest, the real-world funding one. We'll go into a lunch. So you'll have 45 minutes there. Then my panel session on funding, I'm going to cut that down by 15 minutes. So basically it goes only till 1:30. From 1:30 until 3:15, you'll basically be free. So you have about an hour and 45 minutes to work, first of all, within your groups. Then we're going to, in the pitch game exercise, I think you're only going to see each of the teams maybe 10 or 15 minutes at a time. So in that time, you've actually got almost 3 hours additionally that most of it is working with your team. So a lot of the afternoon, we've got a way that you can spend working on what you're going to be presenting or pitching and working on the ideas. So hopefully this will make a huge improvement to the quality of what we're going to see and give you the time to practice some of the ideas. I'm going to get off the stage now that I've explained the intention. Nathan, it's all you.
Thank you very much. And that's a very important point, because it's really unfair to give you all this great information and then have you pitch tomorrow without any time to work on the pitch, except at night. And that's one of the reasons I believe this extra time. Sorry? Which you have to do. Well, of course. This afternoon is practice. It's not a full dress rehearsal. Tomorrow is the big day for you. So there's just a few things I wanted to cover with you in a very short time to give you this extra time. Number one is, I didn't talk about this yesterday, but the Kauffman Foundation, if you don't know about it, is one of the premier nonprofit organizations that offers tremendous resources to entrepreneurs all over the world. And one of the newest things that they did in October of last year was they released a new website called the Kauffman Founders School. And it's free. It's so free, you don't even have to sign in. They don't ask you for your name, your phone number, or anything. I don't know how to scroll on a Mac. Oh, 2 fingers, right? There we go. So as you look down into the topics that they have already there for you, you'll see some names like Steve Blank, and my name's not on here, but Nathan Gold is there. And there are 9 series available for you right now. And they cover all sorts of topics, similar to what you've heard here today, but others as well. So I encourage all of you to take a look at this when you have time. The videos are really high quality. They hired the most professional organization in Kansas City to film all of these, so you will not be bored. They've picked some really great speakers, not just Steve Blank, but a whole bunch of others. And I encourage you to go there and start looking at some of that content. Okay. So really the only thing that I wanted to mainly cover for you here right now is that when you have to come up here and present, something happens inside. What typically happens to most people when I said, come on up here, I want you to present to this whole group? What's going on inside you right now if I did that? Butterflies. What else do those butterflies often be called? Nerves, right? So what I'm going to help you with here is that most people, everyone is going to get nervous. I get nervous. After 15,000 presentations and over 30 years of presenting, I still get nervous just moments before I get up here. That tells me I'm alive. It tells me I'm excited. And I don't let the butterflies fly in all different directions. I get them all flying in formation. So I'd like to give you 3 techniques right now that you can use to help you with your butterflies. Because if you think you're going to get up here and not be nervous, you better not get up here. It just happens. It's natural. You'll feel stress. You get it. Okay. First thing to do when you're nervous is warm up. This is a sport. You need to warm up your voice. If you're quiet all day and you're reserving all your energy and then you get up here to pitch, the first words out of your mouth may not sound that good. So warm up your voice just like you would any muscle before you go out and do the sport. Go outside, hum, sing, do the first 2 lines of your presentation 5 or 6 times. Don't try to go through the whole thing each time just to warm up. That's not what I call warm up. It's more humming, just doing things with your voice. Okay, so number 1 is warm up. Number 2. What's number 2? I'm blanking. 1 is warm up. 2, I'll skip to 3 and we'll come back to 2. Yeah, you got to remember all your points. So third thing to do when you're feeling nervous is to induce the right mood in your head. It's called a mood inducer. Psychology calls it a mood inducer. And it's really easy to do. You don't need to go through those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps like you would if you were reading a book that says see the audience naked or pick one person in the room and talk to just that person. That's all just a bunch of hooey as far as I'm concerned. So the thing that you can do to get yourself instantly into the right state of mind is pick a piece of music. For me, it's the Rocky theme from the first film. Gonna Fly Now, not The Eye of the Tiger. That's film number 2. I play that music in my head, and as soon as I hear that music, the first 5 or 10 seconds of that completely gets me into a different state of mind. Now, all of you probably have a piece of music in your life that as soon as you hear it, it puts you into a mood. Don't pick a loving, calming piece of music. Pick one that gets you confident and excited and ready to go. And that's what the Rocky theme does for me. Each of you have something like that in your life, whether it's an experience, climbing Half Dome, getting to the very top of the Half Dome and saying, yes, I did it. Okay? Any questions? I'm somehow just not recalling number 2 today for any reason, and I'll figure it out later on. What's number 2? Warm up, mood inducer. I talk about this all the time. It's just like well, I give you the 2 best right there. Any questions?
What's number 2?
Yeah, what is number 2? Warm up. Yeah, who thinks they know what number 2 is? So you warm up and then you get music to induce your mood. I'm blown away. I've talked about this for years.
To know your material.
Sorry?
To know your material.
No. You got to know your material anyway. Improvise? No. Posture? No. Sorry? Engage your audience? Well, that's what you're going to do anyway. No. Thank you. How could I forget that? It's like one of the most important things. Thank you so much. I owe you for that. So number 2, and it is number 2, by the way, not number 2. It's number 2, is breathe. When you get stressed or nervous, you breathe differently. You breathe shallow breaths high up in the chest, and that makes you more nervous. It actually puts less oxygen into your brain, which causes the chemistry in your body to go even crazier. All that adrenaline flowing through your body is messed up, so you need to breathe. If you're sitting right here and you're next, do a few deep breaths down into the abdomen like you would be singing. Just add some oxygen into your body. As you're walking up, you can take 2 or 3 deep breaths with no one knowing what you're doing. Just be careful you don't do too many of them, and then you get lightheaded and feel a little bit woozy, which can happen. Now, finally, on the breathing, thank you so much for that. If you really have a stage fright and you just, you couldn't get up here for $1 million, there is a technique called combat breathing or tactical breathing. Look it up. You'll find it very easy to do, and that can really help you ground yourself and get more to who you want to be. And by doing warming up, breathing, and adding some music to induce the right mood, you'll get the butterflies flying all in formation. Okay? I'm going to give you 5 extra minutes unless you have any questions. Any questions at all on the pitch of what you're going to do? So this afternoon, you know you have 10 minutes, a 10-minute slot in here. You're all listed on the board out there. You'll come in. You'll have 2 minutes to do your presentation. We'll give you feedback and comments and suggestions, and then you go work on it. And then tomorrow, you have up to 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes to present, which should be easy. If you can do it in 2, you can do it in 5 to 6, right? You all look a little stunned right now. Questions? Concerns? Comments? Anything? Or do you just want time to go work on this stuff? Yes? Do you aim for emotional or rational? Is that the question? What do you think? What do you think? Always go emotional. Always go the emotional. If you can have an emotional appeal to the people you're presenting to, you're getting inside. Otherwise, you're just talking to the head. Did I answer your question?
Yes, but I feel that it's not as trivial as that because
it's not.
all these, for example, this system, what you need to do is convince, not persuade, convince us that you have a great business model and a disruptive technology.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I may add, so you're doing a 2-minute pitch. That pitch, remember when Chris Dugan was talking, and I assume I didn't hear it all, but he was talking about different levels. You're just trying to entice someone to talk to you again.
That's right. It's
So
just enough.
You're not having your VC talk yet.
No.
That'll be a little, you'll get into a little bit more in your 6-minute demo. But you're just trying to get time with them that they'll step out of the elevator with you.
Right.
Or not, and not get out of the elevator before you.
Right. 2 minutes actually is a very long elevator ride. When we did this at the Wall Street Journal last year during the Wall Street Journal Startup of the Year, I flew to New York and they actually had the elevator set aside and we were going to get in the elevator and go all the way up to the top to film them doing their presentation, and it went up in 33 seconds. So it wasn't a full minute, so we actually just kept the elevator in one place. So if you actually look at those videos online, you'll see us in the actual elevator. And aren't we going to do that here?
We're going to go into the freight elevator.
We're going to go in the freight elevator to give you a real experience tomorrow.
Today?
Today, that's right, this afternoon.
It may seem like tomorrow because it's hours away.
Yes.
So the 2-minute speech today is on the stage or in the elevator?
In the elevator.
Got it. Okay.
So you want to say enough for 2 minutes so that someone will say, okay, I want to hear more about that.
It will be by team, sorry.
By team. Okay. Speaking of teams, do you have teams of more than one, right? Don't limit yourself to only one presenter. Think out of the box. You don't have to have one person do the entire presentation. It makes sense if you have a really good speaker in your group to put that person up on stage, but it's okay to have more than one speaker in your 2-minute presentation. Don't try to put 4 people up there. That's a little bit too many. But I'm totally okay with 2 people for a 2-minute presentation is okay, so long as there's a dividing line of who's saying what. Don't do a I say, you say, I say, you say, I say, you say, I say, you say. That gets a little distracting. Any other questions?
I saw that we have everybody, I think everybody's team name, whether that's your ultimate team name or not, signed up for elevator pitches. Is there anybody who has not signed up? You have not signed up. How many teams are you 3? Do you represent a team that's not up on the board yet? So why don't you take a look, put your name, there's not a slot, but we'll make a slot for you. Make sure, because we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to do the elevator pitches.
Okay.
So, question for you guys though, do you have any other team members? Do you have any other team members?
Oh, I'm good.
Do you have any other team members? Okay, so one of our exercises was try to make sure that you're on a team. So ideally, when you're thinking about it, I mean, you're okay, I guess, going on your own, but there were no other teams that you wanted to join or no one who could get to join you?
I have an team, but I want to do working on elevator.
So the elevator pitches, because we do have a limited amount of time, We are going to try to do them for whoever the teams are, and then at the end, if we have time, we can see about fitting you in as an individual. Does that make sense? Did everybody get that? If somebody feels like they want to go again, and I think what we're going to do is do a practice pitch. You give feedback and do another pitch.
Could do that.
And then the idea is that you'll be able to upload that pitch, depending on how good you feel about it, onto the Berkeley Bootcamp website. So if someone is looking, once I publish your team, and so I know some people have added in a lot of different names, and so I just want to work with everybody this afternoon to make sure I know what your team name is on that Berkeley Bootcamp, but you should be able to upload the pitch video also to the Berkeley Bootcamp site for your team.
Because that video could potentially be the thing that investors see and then want to talk to you more. So make that 2-minute pitch as exciting and as motivational as possible. Don't try to cram your whole business idea into 2 minutes, though. Just enough so that they say, I want to know more. I'd like to know more about that. Okay? Any more questions? Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.